whether or not you work for the government, SIRS, Bloom, the Kellys or Albion. According to a SIRS official, DedSec is no longer a threat, which I guess is true in that it was never a threat in the first place. Reminds me of when my great aunt Gladys had her appendix out. Oh Andy, that surgeon's a real threat, waggling that knife at me, trying to knock me out. Well, they called a scalpel and an anaesthetic, Gladys. Anyway, if SIRS officials say DedSec is dead and buried, I guess we have to assume that DedSec has never been stronger. But I do worry, Alice. I mean, sometimes I think, is there any hope? Do you still have hope?
I don't think I'm allowed to have hope. We're living in the self-selected, algorithmically designated information equivalent of a propaganda state, and every resistance that I've ever seen is weaker than the British pound. I feel like hope is an expensive thing to buy these days.
Right. I mean, is it all totally pointless? I mean, it can feel pointless, but then again, I've spent almost all of my life doing pointless things like watching sport, thinking about sport, thinking about watching sport, learning French and hoping for a better future. All completely pointless. But yeah, I've done them, so we might as well carry on. Is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Yes, I think there is. Unfortunately, what is that light? Is it an oncoming train? Well, no, it couldn't be. Obviously, that train would be late or cancelled. Is the light at the end of the tunnel a burning effigy of the concept of hope? Quite possibly. Is it the soul of Sky Larson imploding into its own vacuum? May well be that. Is it the ego of Nigel Cass that is now so big that it's sucked all the light in the universe into itself? I think that it's most likely is that, but we'll never give up, Bug fans. This resistance will never die. And one day, we will again be free. Free from these technological chains, free to choose our own futures, free to live our own lives, free to waste our time watching people bake cakes and dance badly again. Those were the days. Over and out. Before we go, time for a quick bug off. I'm going to nominate this week Sky Larson. Here at The Bug, we are all in favour of strong, powerful women. And in many ways, Sky is the ultimate feminist icon, proving that women can do just as abominably awful things to this planet as men. I mean, overall, Alice, I think we're still ahead as men, but you lot are catching up. Fair play to you. You are listening to The Bug.
We live in modern times. Drones, robots, computer control, they all have their place. But so do people. And that place is us. Because when you need help, you need the human touch. Not robots, not soldiers, just people like you. The Metropolitan Police. People protecting people.
Hello and welcome back to The Upload. In this episode, we're talking about CTOS 3.0, the city operating system that's now powering all of London. For those of you who need reminding, as if anyone does at this point, CTOS was first used in Chicago in 2014 and then San Francisco in 2017 before coming here to London. And every time it's been rolled out, it's been pretty much an unmitigated disaster.
For those of you who are listening who are lucky enough not to be
Auto
here
drive
in
now
London's
disabled.
chaotic scenes, it's worth remembering that the telecoms tower is now owned by Bloom. The tower looms over northwest London. It's always been a communications hub, acting as part of the UK's television and communications network. Although there's been some secrecy around its use, and now that Bloom owns it, it's only even more secret.
Yeah, now everything that's part of Bloom's city surveillance operation is run through the telecoms tower. And I have to say, it looks completely ridiculous. It's got that silly crown thing at the top and all the blue light.
What's that even about? What does it do? I don't see that there's any purpose to that at all.
It's a blight on the skyline, if you ask me, and it's become the main point of control for millions of people. The System Network and Bagley are both operated and streamed from there too.
And don't forget about the self-driving cars too.
I always thought they were just running on their own.
No, CTOS is the big control system behind the cars. There was a point back in the earliest days of self-driving car technology that they operated by themselves. They usually use a series of sensors to see the world around them. Radar, for instance.
I told you to get lost.
I don't answer to you, you're fucking mad at me. I know, right?
I'm here.
I'll highlight the server with the AR reconstruction software. It's out of reach, so you'll need to use a heavy cargo drone to steal it.
Get the hell out of here.
Hugh. Come on. 1033, closest units proceed to alarm location.
Whoever tripped the alarm,
Sending
thank God.
location on a 1033. Advise conditions.
Drone, perform a search.
Nothing.
You... Gun! Gun! They have a gun! Fuck, I'm hit. Oh!
Right, there's nothing here. I'm going back to normal patrol.
Just add something. Now, tick-tock. This area is restricted. Now. Yeah.
Live alarm. Location sent. Need a 1013.
All units, proceed to alarm location. Acknowledge, over. Nothing here, but I don't think it's a faulty alarm.
I went ahead and loaded the server into your ride. It's up to you now. Be careful on the road, all right? That's precious cargo.
Still can't believe I let a fucking computer talk me into this. Cheers, mate.
CTOS-AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
This will do. Remain in the area until I've downloaded enough data to the server. Download complete. I need a wider sample of data, so I'm pushing you the coordinates to a new location. This is brilliant. Look at this. It's compiling data from the surveillance infrastructure. Nearby CTOS drones, civilian optics, CCTV, and then it assembles those scraps into what happened in this location 24 hours ago. Fantastic.
CTOS-AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
All right, scraping data from optics, CTOS cameras, microphones, laptops. Say, do you reckon SRS uses this to watch people shag? Fucking hell, do they use it for anything but watching people shag?
Bagley, we've got company.
Well, shit, can you do anything to lose your new friends? Maybe invite them to a pottery night or overshare something personal. Whatever you do, just get to the last location in one piece.
Fuck it. All right.
Transfer complete. I'm missing one last data set. Pushing you the coordinates to the location now.
Able to locate suspect. Continue searching.
Auto drive now enabled. Auto drive now disabled.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
What a fuck up!
It's still on me, Bagley.
Don't let the drones destroy the server before I'm done. Get out of the lorry and take care of them. Shoot them, throw rocks at them, destroy them psychologically with cyberbullying. Just keep them busy until the transfer's complete. Be careful, it's taking too much damage. A few more hits and it's toast. This server forever. We should probably wipe our prints off it anyway.
I'm listening.
I'll overload the CPUs to cause a power spike and destroy the battery unit. The electromagnetic pulse should destroy both the server and the drones. So, you know, run! Well, that was fun, wasn't it? We pulled off a heist, made life a bit harder for the tyrants of the world, and most importantly, I got a new toy to play with. Now, run along back to the safe house. Sabine wants you and your new teammates for a briefing.
Come here. I beat you. No, you made a mistake.
You're listening to The Bug.
Auto drive now enabled.
Vomiting and headaches. Hello Britain, this is The Bug, the show that holds up a mirror to the world and smashes itself on the head with it in despair. I'm Andy, joining me, as always, Alice, and...
I deny everything.
That's a good state of existence. Some good news, at last. There are no medicine shortages, according to the government, none at all. There have been various allegations about that. It turns out they are all fake news, trademark, but there are none. There are no shortages of medicine. Don't take it from me. I'm not a medical supply expert. Take it from our beloved government. It's fine. In fact, I'm going to read between the lines here and actually say there's probably there's too much medicine, if anything. Just medicine. You can't move for medicine. In fact, just this morning, I tried to pour some cornflakes into a bowl for breakfast and out-tumbled a 12-month course of immunosuppressants, corticosteroids, and anti-retrofungal neurodilatory estrogen spermatotropic fruit pastels.
The people claiming there are medical shortages are probably high on lots of medicine that they've been given. I, for one, believe that there are no medical shortages, Andy. Just last week, I went in with a broken arm and they suggested it might just be extreme period pains. Me a drink of water and an astrology chart.
I think we can't be too far away from them just prescribing stiff upper lip like they do.
My uncle had a leg removed due to diabetes. They halved his insulin because they said there was less of him to be diabetic.
So, anyway, people, don't believe what you read or hear about there not being enough medical drugs to go around. It's not true. It's hospital hogwash, it's pharmaceutical flim-flam, it's medical mendacity, it's Hippocratic humbug, it's nonsensical narcotic nincompoop. I think I've made the point. Do not believe the news telling you that we've run out of medicine, nor should you believe the empty shelves at the chemists. They're also lying. Do not believe your doctor saying, sorry, we're fresh out of that, you're going to have to eat a carrot and pretend. And do not believe your own cobweb-ridden medicine cabinet at home. It might look empty, but it's not, for it contains the only medicine any of us truly need. Stirring music, please, producer Chris. Freedom. The medicine of British freedom. And the analgesic knowledge that however ill you may be, Bloom are keeping an eye on things for you.
I'm investing heavily in the placebo effect right now. You're listening to The Bug.
Obviously, I don't entirely mean that, because what is the first rule of the third millennium? If someone in power tells you something is fake news, what is it? Correct. A 110% cast iron, tungsten-coated, granite-scented, cosmically immutable, scientifically unarguable fact. But surely, Alice, the more important question for all these medicine freaks whinging on about feeling a bit poorly or having a fatal but curable illness and slowly dying unnecessarily is this. Do we actually need medicine? If you today got diagnosed with a potentially fatal illness, would you not look around at the nation that we've become and think, hey doc, put your life-saving treatment down, I'm going to take this free one-way bus out of here. Now hold that pillow over my face until the twitching stops.
I just don't think we should think of it in such a negative way. Don't think of it as a medicine diet, Andy. Think of it as a series of healthy lifestyle swaps. Swap out anti-inflammatories for antacids. Swap out the iron lung for the aluminium
Auto drive now disabled.
Swap out MRI machines for Mary machines, which is just a lady called Mary telling you you're fine.
Obviously,
How are you?
Truth is, I feel like I bit off more than I can chew. I'm role-playing being a resistance fighter more than I'm being one, you know?
Oh, buck up. A fucking bullet doesn't care whether or not you believe in it. Kills you the same either way.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I'll fake it till I make it, right?
Yeah? No, I entirely understand.
Well done, team. It's good to see the safe house filling up again. The only way we're going to keep London from falling into total oppression is by rebuilding the resistance. We need to recruit, train, build back our arsenal. The people are itching to rise up and take their city back. We just need to show them that DedSec are fighting along with them.
To be honest, I think I'd be put to better use in the skull-cracking department.
Albion's got it so you can't question them or speak out against them. Fascist freaks.
And when things go to shit, Kelly rats take over. We have to stop these gangster fucks.
Fair, but remember that this zero-day hacker group is still out there. They took out DedSec once, and it's a good bet they'll try again. I believe they were responsible for the bombings and framed DedSec. With your help, I plan to get to the bottom of this mystery.
I'd say that's a full docket. Enough talk. Let's unfuck London.
I found a lead that may help us unravel more about Zero Day and the bombings we ate shit for. I've picked up an encrypted signal from the Tone conference site that's been broadcasting on a loop since the night of the bombing. Go investigate. You might even get to try out that fancy new AR tech we stole. I mean, creatively shared.
Seriously, what is going on?
Just calm down, please.
No, didn't catch that.
This is small parts. Honestly, genuinely, really small parts. Whacked about
Just relax.
Not just any dog.
I don't think you'll be so bothersome. What's
That's not even the best part.
Instead of having to carry around a phone, you've just got this small handheld unit. So much lighter and so much more convenient. It's great.
Vicky, you sound like you
Auto drive
absolutely
now
love
enabled.
the Optic. Do you actually think that it's made our lives any better?
I mean, sure, it's definitely made things a lot easier. It's so simple to call someone now. All you have to do is choose who you want to chat to, and they're there, ready to talk. And browsing the web is so much easier. I remember when you used to have to sit down at a computer with an actual keyboard and mouse and type everything out. And my favourite feature is public transport. With the Optic, you can just walk straight onto the tube. It even acts as a passport. No longer do I have to dig around and try and find my old paper passport just to travel somewhere. Also, I thought that Optic's marketing strategy, making it free for people, was a stroke of genius.
Genius. Bloom was really calculated when it was doing that. It was pushing this draconian device on us at all. Sure, everybody flocked to it. There was free Wi-Fi and phone plans. That definitely helped, but it wasn't a case of this is a product that you need in your life.
Why do you hate it so much?
It's just the worst because you had to give up your privacy expectations and accept surveillance. It was almost like the government and Bloom didn't even need to make the Optic mandatory. Making it mandatory was only to get the last holdouts across the line. If free data didn't convince you, fines and arrests from the state for not having the Optic would pretty much be enough.
I mean, what do you mean by privacy problems? No one really talks about that anymore.
They don't talk about it because we don't have any choice when it comes to the Optic. Yes, it's convenient and mandatory, but everybody's forgotten what it really means. Here, you've got a whole company owning basically all the data about your life. Bloom can see everything that you can see. Nothing is private anymore. There are so many times when I don't want anyone to have a clue about where I am, who I'm chatting with, what I'm doing. It's not even dodgy stuff, but I just don't want anybody to blackmail me with this in the future by hacking it. And because of Bloom's contracts with the government, it isn't just Bloom that can see everything I do, it's the government. The UK as a state has become a complete surveillance paradise.
I think you're painting a bit of a bleak picture. It's not all that bad.
No, you're completely wrong on this. I don't want everybody tracking me wherever I'm going around London.
Well, in that case,
you have
might be
reached your
interested in some
destination.
rumours I heard. Did you hear that some DedSec hackers have found a way to bypass the optics connection with Bloom?
Are they actually making it better or usable or actually friendly for anybody?
I was supposed to be here that day. Thank you, dodgy Pubfield. I'd be lying here dead with the rest of them otherwise.
Why the hell haven't they started rebuilding yet? The bombing was months ago and the site is supposed to be under repair. Dodgy as fuck.
Just what I was thinking. What am I looking for, Bagley?
Any kind of device or component that could still be emitting the signal. It seems to be coming from within the rubble.
Get a lockdown on a drone in my area?
Fucking what?
This is it. The signal is coming from this Spiderbot fragment. No indication yet who it belongs to.
Something's completely mangled it. Christ. What's it doing there?
Difficult to say, but with an AR reconstruction, we may be able to see what happened to it and if it relates to the attack. Access data relays in the vicinity, and I can compile enough data to build the AR reconstruction. Perfect. 2 more data relays to go. data relay and I'll have it. That should do it. Now, I'll just take the audio from this stream and the video from these 36 and... got it. Go back to where you found that spider bot and I'll show you the AR reconstruction from the night of the explosion.
Grand.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
You brought the payload? Fuck, think we'd go back for you? Don't trust the Kelly dog.
Kelly? Wait, as in Clan Kelly? You're telling me those gangster folks had something to do with all of this?
Looks like the Kellys supplied the bomb and were making a delivery.
So, who was it they were meeting? It didn't seem close. Maybe Zero Day?
Well, don't just stand there. Keep looking.
Bagley, can you work out who was running that spider bot?
I've now fully decrypted the signal the spider bot is broadcasting. And while I cannot identify a specific user, it is a call code used by the Metropolitan Police Service.
Fuck me sideways. The cops were watching this go down.
The reconstruction continues behind that rubble.
We don't have some kind of quantum tunneling device in a shed somewhere, do we?
Quantum tunnel technology is at least 10 years away, but spider bots and drones are here today. You could try one of those if you don't feel like waiting.
Good idea.
Why don't you aim those human eyeballs of yours at the van's cargo?
Grand.
RDX nitrogen, and the exact same detonator system like the bombs that were planted at Parliament.
0 day.
There, hurry. Got all the deliveries.
So you were hired to supply all the targets?
Shut it, we're all on need to know.
Fuck me. So 0 day was using a bunch of groups to pull off the bombings.
That's certainly one way to pull off a massive coordinated attack while remaining anonymous. 0 day needed manpower and resources, but they needed them at an arm's length. And it doesn't take the world's greatest AI detective to see that both Clan Kelly and Albion benefited in the aftermath. Unfortunately, this is the most we can get out of the AR reconstruction, but if we could find the mystery officer who was spying through the spider bot, maybe they could tell us more. Tracing the Spiderbot serial number, it was assigned to New Scotland Yard 3 years ago. Perhaps more information about its user or its assignment will be available at the station.
So the police were onto the real bombers, but they kept their mouth shut for some reason. Doesn't add up. We don't have all the facts yet.
The only way to know for sure is to investigate New Scotland Yard.
Auto drive now enabled. Auto drive now enabled. You have reached your destination.
Christ. Albion's taking this place over like a fucking parasite.
And the entire police service. But don't worry, if you're not pleased with your privatised goon squad, just take your business across the street.
Didn't think I could feel bad for English police. But fucking hell.
Not to worry, the only difference now is the uniform, assault weapons, and the fact they're motivated by profit over public service. Now, any record or information on the Spiderbot will be further in.
Sweep everything into your vein! front, perform search.
Look for anything suspicious. Moving on.
He got away from us.
Be careful, please.
Shots fired! Stop! I'm warning you! Hack, you're gonna eat buckshot! No! Taking cover! Let's do this! Right. Investigating. You're not getting out of this. You're already dead.
Your friend's just been taken into Albion custody. So long as you don't cock up that badly, you'll be my favourite operative today.
God, that's bad luck, that is. Ooh, a quick... At the thought of Albion nabbing me, and not in a good way.
Get!
Shoot you! What the hell? Keep looking!
I'm very grateful to you.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
You are coming with me one way or another. Moving on. No one's here. I'll go over there.
maybe we're popular here.
Live alarm. I repeat, live alarm. Location sent, need a 1013.
Oi, isn't that the same spider bot?
According to the serial numbers, this matches the piece of spider bot from the Tone bombing site.
Can you tell who used it last?
Navigate the spider bot from out of that room. I'll need a direct connection in order to learn more from our bisected friend.
All right, I got this.
All right.
And I...
Taking a cover position! Where did you... Ugh. Must be close by.
Need some cover! Got you!
Shit!
Where's my backup?
Moving to last known position. Checking the last known position. Clear, moving. I'm sure they're still in the area. Let's move on.
Somebody's trying it on.
Keep looking. She's got to be here somewhere. Fucking hell! I think they were nearby. Taking it out. There. That's where I saw them. Shots fired! Shots fired! Taking fire! Back up! I need back up!
opening right there looks like a good exit point. Right, get comfy. This Spiderbot might be broken and missing some of its legs, but it can still jump and fit through vents. That's a good way to get through the station undetected. That's Dalton's mask. It must have been recovered from Parliament. It might be the only thing left of him now. That's a part of the remote detonator system from Parliament. If the Met, or Albion rather, actually analysed it, they would see it wasn't DedSec's handiwork at all.
girl can get addicted to this much power.
Buggery fuck, would you look at all this junk? You'll have to jump your way across to get to the next vent opening.
What's wrong with Scotland Yard? Who decided they couldn't be trusted to do their jobs? Suddenly some corporation could clean up our streets better than the same police force we've had for who knows how long. When crime fighting is treated like a business, crime will never go away. That would be bad for business, right? So don't tell me Albion has our best interests at heart.
If the police could handle their job, Albion wouldn't be necessary. But they can't. Tone bombing is a personal example. A bunch of lazy
You're almost there. Make your way through this last vent path.
Got it.
Scanning Spybot and accessing its internal drives. While I'm analysing this data, you should make yourself scarce. Unless you'd like to explain to your new, heavily armed, privatised police force why you've broken into the station.
All right, yeah.
The Spiderbot fragment you found has a satellite-based GPS module that regularly pushed its location to a specific ground station.
Really? The fucking Met got themselves some kind of secret layer. We better check it out, yeah?
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates. Your somewhat reckless teammate has got themselves thrown in the old clink, I'm afraid. Difficult to resist oppression from behind bars.
Auto drive now
It will be a
enabled.
while before they're available. Pro tip, however, why not recruit a barrister to the team? I mean, no one exactly likes a barrister, but they do have jail time of imprisoned operatives.
You have reached your destination.
Hey, Bagley, how do I get in?
I'm detecting a surveillance network guarding a space under this bridge. If you can patch into it, perhaps you can take a look inside. The GPS history of the Spider-Bot we recovered regularly pinged these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
Oh, I don't know, it's kind of moody. Good place for a sneaky shag.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
Holy shit! Alright, so not a secret sex dungeon, but looks like the coppers had a whole base down here.
Well, if Albion was stomping all over your workplace, you'd find a different place to store your lunch too. And it seems our mystery officer was dedicated.
What the hell were they working on that brought them to town?
The computer's dusty enough to kill an asthmatic, but there may still be something useful on it.
This is Inspector Caitlin Lau. Well, former Inspector now. Since Albion's coup, the Met is no more. The police brass had already buried the evidence anyway. Everything implicating Albion and Clan Kelly in the bombings. But I know Mary Kelly's band of twats were involved, and they're involved in other crimes we can look into. Me and a few good mates are willing to go off book, going after Mary Kelly again. I'll never fucking learn, will I? Inspector Caitlin Lau, video log. Clan Kelly and Albion are teamed up on some deal. I don't have all the details, but it looks to be human trafficking. The European Processing Center is the Albion angle. Since the bombings, they can grab anyone off the street. Call them illegal immigrants, potential DedSec insurgents, whatever. Though we know who the real danger is. So, Clan Kelly gets hold of these people, these immigrants, deportees, victims, really, and they're taking them somewhere. But where and why? It all comes back to the boss lady herself. I knew she was into something, but she wriggled off the hook. There's only one way I can do this. 24/7 surveillance on Mary Kelly. If I'm caught, well, this will be my last entry. But I have to see what she's hiding.
So, our mystery officer was Inspector Caitlin Lau. It sounds like Mary Kelly was her white whale, and her investigation led her to the bombings.
Fucking shit! Albion and Clan Kelly together like some kind of evil sandwich.
It seems like Zero Days Web covers all of the unsavoury bits of London. Tug on a thread, and it leads back to them. Clan Kelly and Albion included.
Loads of people have gone missing, yeah? That's proper fucked up. We have to stop them.
Inspector Lau mentioned Albion is running their part of the operation out of the EPC. Detectives like us call that a lead.
Please.
Control to hostile location. Received. Let's keep this by the book. Over.
Thank you so much.
This Albion Clan Kelly business leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And if Caitlin Lau's right, then this little nugget jumps to the front of the queue. We have reason to believe a former DedSec operative may still be alive, but missing inside the EPC.
Angel Lopez, not London-born, but I won't hold that against him, unlike some others.
Looks like Angel got caught up in the immigration roundup, which, ironically, may be the only reason he escaped 0 Days DedSec purge.
Anti-immigrant sentiment has grown in London since the bombings. Albion fuels it. It allows them to send anyone they want to their brutal refugee camp.
We need to find Angel before they discover he's DedSec. This is kind of personal team. But finding his trail might just shed some light on the Albion Clan Kelly connection.
Fuck shit. I suppose the good news is he hasn't been deported yet. Bad news, he's stuck in the ever-living nightmare that is the EPC.
I've sent the details to your device and advised our contact at the EPC. They can get you inside.
I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Hill created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned Bobby on the beat as it's possible to get. When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Cass, many people were surprised. But we weren't. London has been up for sale and privatisation for years. The only difference is that now the private companies have guns. So how did it happen? What does it mean? How can we reverse it? And what's the price of justice?
You're it. Ready to go?
Finally.
And I get stuck in sensitivity.
You know, the usual things, drugs, sex, whatever. Some people...
No, you got the wrong answer, bloke.
I'm not going to say it over here, but I need to be listening.
Hold still during the scan.
Why don't you hold still? Me?
Okay, all right. No movement during the scan. You hiding something? Your profile triggered an alert.
Suspect reported in your area. Potentially armed and hostile. Understood, Control. Awaiting further instruction. Over. Can anyone see the suspect?
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know.
Negative.
Today
Suspect is gone. Issue an APW.
By consent or by force of profit. Ever since Sir Robert Hill created the police force as we know it.
Now that's cute.
I didn't do shit.
I think you know exactly what you did, don't you?
Anyway, said I look nice.
Make sure there's room at the processing center. Sure. Yeah, I guess. No, listen. Just comply with the search. Clear. Now leg it.
Auto drive now enabled.
This is London Calling. I'm Tash, and this is Buccaneer, your source for what they don't want you to know. Today we're talking about policing, by consent or by force for profit. Ever since Sir Robert Peel created the police force as we know it in 1829, London has relied on the Metropolitan Police Service for peace, stability, and justice. They weren't perfect, but at least there was some democratic control. Now there's a new sheriff in town. If you're a victim of crime or you just want to silence a peaceful protest, there's a new police force to turn to. Albion. And they're about as far from the old-fashioned Bobby on the beat as it's possible to get. When Hassani handed over London to Nigel Cass, many people were surprised. But we weren't. London has been up for sale and privatisation for years. The only difference is that now the private companies have guns. So how did it happen? What does it mean? How can we reverse it? And what's the price of justice? On Buccaneer, we conceal everyone's full names for their own safety. Here's Helen, who investigated policing, civil rights and justice in pre-crisis Britain.
One of the kind of classic hallmarks of a fascist leader is having their own private army or police force. You know, it is in a democracy, the state tends to have a monopoly on violence, and that's not what happens when a state fails. You know, you end up with people running their own private militias, and we've seen this all over the world. You know, every kind of great dictator in history has had basically their own jackbooted set of guys that they can send in to rough up people who annoy them. And that's the danger of a force like Albion. You know, you start taking powers to yourself, and actually who is in charge of telling you no? It's always a worrying sign when you see, say, a president surrounding themselves with ex-military guys, with, you know, 5-star generals or whatever it might be, because that sort of suggests that they want to run the country like you run a war. And in a war, you have to be incredibly hierarchical. You know, you have to be top-down. People essentially have to obey orders because that's the only way that you can make that work. That's not how it works normally in a democracy. And that's the problem, really, is you end up in a situation where normal peacetime checks and balances are suspended, and that's really scary.
Is policing ever politically neutral? We spoke to academic Alfie, all names on the down low, of course, about the politics of law and order.
I think it's very important to consider the changes that have happened in public space in London. I mean, the honest answer is there hardly is any shared public communal space anymore. Everything is privatised, owned by corporations and companies, and it's very difficult to feel that the space is our own to use. And essentially, you can be moved on from any area by forces which are employed to police the private area for corporate profit rather than for a community's overall well-being and shared livelihood. So I think what you're looking at overall is a situation where it's now completely impossible to distinguish between a kind of state police or a police which operates in the service of the community and one which operates to protect private interests, which leads us to the situation we've got with something like Albion today. A private police force gives you a very different kind of justice to what you might have in a former society, such as one with a state or government-run police force. And it makes you wonder if, you know, of course it's obvious when it comes to an active police force, if it's enforcing the rules of the privatised state, then it's more likely to act in their interests rather than those of kind of ethics and morality for the greater good. But it also makes you wonder about the entire justice and legal system underpinning such a police force. You know, do the courts and justice systems also share the ethics and morals of the privatised companies who employ them, and then therefore, you know, is a kind of equal and fair ethics or justice completely gone for them?
Putting an end to the chase now.
Till then, you've got the
Jesus! Useless bastard!
So, I've delved more into Caitlin Lau's investigation, and an enormous number of missing person cases centre around the EPC. The inspector was definitely onto something.
So let's find that guy and get out fast. If they work out Angel's DedSec before we find him, the nicest thing they'll do is kill him.
I've got a pint for whoever finds him.
Don't wander too far. This area is... What happened?
Summons. I've already taken care of your entry. Get you in quick and quiet.
Just keep me off their actual system, yeah? Christ knows I don't need any extra attention.
No worries, I'll spoof. But come meet me on the rooftop. The only place here that doesn't smell like piss. Got some info for you.
The European Processing Centre. It processes deportees by stacking them up in squalid conditions and forgetting about them. But hey, it's to protect London, right?
Right now.
I don't like where this is going.
What's going on here?
This place is worse than a prison camp. Every day I see people come through here, torn from their homes and their families. But I'd rather stay and keep an eye on things. Maybe help out once in a while. Like now.
This is a fucking abomination. Nobody should be treated this way, let alone somebody whose only sin is being unlucky enough to be born in the wrong place.
Yeah, well, people have been disappearing. Records say they have been processed, but it doesn't add up. No one ever properly leaves. And with the Kellys prowling around like fucking hyenas, I am not too optimistic about the people slipping through the cracks.
Well, that checks out. Mary Kelly has her reeking tentacles choking out half the boroughs in the city.
Truth. Now, about your missing guy. The best place to start would be the EPC database. They keep a record of everyone that comes in. And be careful.
Pushing the location of the EPC database on your optic.
right, everyone, just stay calm. Watch out, there's an active shooter. A bit rude, yeah? Nah, thanks, I'm not interested. All right, everyone, just stay calm. Listen to me, we don't need guns right now.
Hang on.
Could you not?
You're finished now. Hey, where are you going?
Area clear. Gonna keep searching.
Your comrade is now taking an Albion-mandated timeout. You're up.
God, that's bad luck, that is. Ooh, I quiver at the thought of Albion nabbing me, and not in a good way.
Pushing the location of the EPC database on your optic.
People! I'm sorry.
Lousy maggots.
So he came up and asked me what I think he was trying to see if I was up for it. One of the rules of the game is you can have a luxury item on the island. That part did my head. You can't just say or go to someone and get you off the island. What do you pick? I'm thinking a mattress. It's boring.
And what's that?
All right, you got that one for free, but the next one isn't. Better be ready, motherfucker. You better duck, bitch.
Nothing left to say, eh?
I know better than to.
Stay focused. I'll be okay.
Any luck yet? Drone, enter search protocol.
Seriously?
Oh, Lord. I don't want to get involved.
Yeah, easy with the horn, me.
Possible hostiles near your location. Responding to the call. Over. Control, I've lost sight of the target. Over. Received. We have an armed target. Over. Negative. No sign of suspect. Over.
Gonna have nightmares tonight.
Right, I'm putting a stop to this. Units fall back. Over.
No!
I'm ready to fire. Drop your gun.
Going to investigate.
Just want to be left alone.
Taking fire!
There will be a database here that we can search for evidence on Angel Lopez.
Knowledge, over.
Nothing here. Redirecting.
If you're not careful, they'll get you and jump.
Moving on. No one's here. Suspect is still here. Nobody's here. Moving elsewhere.
Hey, we have a problem here.
They're long gone. Tag them!
It's not safe here.
Enough. I'm ready to fire.
Searching. Search complete. Sync time codes.
Check your doors and corners.
Moving on. No one here. You better hope we don't.
Quadrant clear. Moving to assist.
Eyes open. They could be anywhere.
All clear over here.
Come out and fight. Check their last position.
I'll have a look.
Investigating.
Keep your eyes open. They could be anywhere.
Well here. What's next?
Redirecting.
Clear. Let's move on. Well here. What's next?
All good. I'll try somewhere else.
Quadrant clear. Moving to assist.
There's no sign of them. Send a description with the report.
Hold. I've had quite enough. Ah!
I'll have a look.
Run a search. Make it quick.
Clear. Let's move on. Eyes peeled. They're here. Stay sharp. Search the area. Right, this ends now.
Finish. Brilliant.
Go on, Bagley. Tell me you found something.
I have. His file has been deleted from the main database, along with hundreds of others. Still very detailed. Even when committing crimes against humanity, the government doesn't skimp on paperwork. Here is a recording labelled Exit Interview.
You know what we do with terrorists, Lopez? Don't go pissing me off by denying anything. We know you're with DedSec. You think you were picked up on some random sweep? Not a fucking chance. Nothing to say. Well, this is not going to go well for you then, because I want information. The rest of your cell, where are they? I want names, places, everything you've got.
You think I'm daft? I spill everything I know and what? You let me go? I'm not talking. I know how this ends.
Oh, I don't think you do. I'm going to throw you to the wolves. The Kellys have an interesting way of disposing with problems.
You think I'm scared of some fucking thugs? Of winding up floating in the Thames? Fuck you.
You're too pretty for that, mate. First, they'll peddle you. For dosh, right? Then, when you're used up, they're going to chop you up and send the pieces to the four corners.
I can take whatever you've got.
I almost feel sorry for you. Get him to the bloody clinic, then.
Shit. They knew he was DedSec the whole time. This doesn't look good for Angel.
The clinic keeps government service hours, which means it's closed. We'll have to find Angel the old-fashioned way and hack their CTOS hub. Deportation limbo, horrible living conditions, unexplained disappearances. It's almost as if the media are deliberately ignoring the situation here in favor of... Oh, look here. Beatrice Stokely, 89, recently took up kickboxing to fill up her days. Fascinating. If the EPC is a typical example of how humans treat each other, I'd say a benevolent AI overlord is a step up, wouldn't you?
Bags, please shut up, yeah? Perks of the job, yeah?
I have reconstructed an AR scene of Angel's examination. You can view it inside the clinic.
Brilliant work.
Stay away from me.
Gonna have nightmares tonight. Bloody hell. What? Listen to me. Calm down. Gonna have nightmares tonight. Huh? Imagine how you look right now. Bloody hell. This won't solve any of your problems. Really, they're just a no. I'm on your side. I'm worse than this. Keep it together. Keep it together. Goes in and out of his flat without a black brief. Where's he last night? Listen to me. Calm down. Bro. What? Imagine how you look